Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today. Shalom.
Sylvia, Larry, this is the main thing you're supposed to be giving. Watch this. Because if I tell you give me money, Sylvia, and you never change, Mr. Tim, am I helping you? I'm supposed to help you do what? Right. I'm supposed to help you change, because as I look at my people, I'm saying, what are they not doing that God commanded them to do? Okay, none of them have on fringes. Okay, so they have to change that and start wearing fringes. You see what I'm saying? None of them keeping the Sabbath. How do I know? Because in Exodus is Leviticus. Leviticus, it tells us that we're supposed to congregate. And then in Hebrews, it tells us we're supposed to congregate. Oh, they not congregate. I'm pointing out things that my people are not doing so I can help them change. Right. You see that? Because if I allow y'all and never say that we don't never come out here, where's the help gonna come from? You know what be trying to help our community? When they have those town hall meetings. Y'all ever heard of that before? You see what I'm saying? Is that the help that we need? No. This the help we need. We need to change the way that we're carrying ourselves, the way that we're living, things we're doing against God that got us in this condition. God said, Sister Sylvia, because we broke his commandments, that he's going to allow another nation to take the Indians in slavery. God said because we broke his commandments, Mr. Tim, Larry, he's going to let another nation take us on slave ships. And that's in the Bible. When he said, I'm going to allow another nation to take you on slave ships. Did you ever heard that before, Mr. Tim?
I never heard that.
Woo! Y'all see what y'all missing? That's in the Bible.
Right.
I'm going to drop the, no, let's finish the image of Christ, and then I want to read that to you, Mr. Tim. I want to read that to you. Jeremiah. Yeah, we kind of passed it now. I was going to get it if I'd have stopped and paused there, but we kept rolling. I want to show them about Jeremiah real quick.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 14 and verse 2. Judah mourneth.
So it's talking about Judah. Remember that name right there. It's throughout the whole Bible. It's even in the book of Revelations. It ain't talking about Baptists in the book of Revelations. It ain't talking about Catholics in the book of Revelation. It's talking about these 12 tribes right here in the book of Revelations. 12,000 from Judah. 12,000 who are going to be the leaders. That's what it's talking about in Revelations. But they got to be doing something first. They got to be changing in order for them to be them leaders, Mr. Tim, Mr. Larry, Sylvia. Yeah, they got to change first.
Right.
Come on.
Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish.
And the gates meaning their leadership. If this was a gate for me, it's supposed to protect me, right? Yeah. That's what it's talking about, the gate. The leadership, language. They not standing up strong. Now we got, what's his name? Al Sharpner. And those type of guys are supposed to be our leaders. You see what I'm saying? Judah mourning. We're mourning. We're crying for some help. That's why you see the hands up, don't shoot. We're looking for a leader. You see what I'm saying? That makes sense, Mr. Larry? Mr. Larry, that makes sense. We're looking for a leader. Our leader have always been right here. He said, I'm going to leave these words with you to comfort you.
That's right.
That's why we got to read it and understand it. Come on.
They are black unto the ground.
Read it again.
Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground.
You see what he said about Judah? Judah is black like the dang on ground.
Right.
Judah is black. That's why he said that for. Because it had to leave clues in there to let you know what Judah looked like, Ephraim, Manasseh, what's going to happen to all the tribes. It's in the Bible. Right. We're just picking through it to try to show it to you while we got a few minutes of your time. But we can explain every tribe to you. The condition that they was in then, when God was talking to them, through Jacob, through Israel, their father, and what he told them was going to happen to them in the last days. That's how we know. Because we went read what's going to happen to Judah in the last days. What's going to happen to Ephraim, Benjamin in the last days. What's going to happen to Issachar in the last days. In the Bible it tells us that the Grecians is going to take them into slavery. We know who the Grecians are. It tells them that they're going to sit amongst the Arabs and learn their traditions. Right. All this in the Bible. Right. The Israelites was going to fall up under that. That's why we're trying to show y'all. We want y'all to get it. We want you to understand it. Come on.
Yeah. Song of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse 1.
Bring it out.
The Songs of Songs, which is Solomon.
So Solomon is writing this, Mr. Tim, Mr. Larry. That's why it says the Songs of Solomon, which are Solomon's. The Songs of Solomon.
Verse 5. I am black, but comely.
Solomon said, Mr. Tim, I'm black and I'm handsome.
That's right.
Solomon said, that's in the Bible. We don't use comely today, we use handsome. You see what I'm saying? But he told you that I'm what, Mr. Tim?
Handsome.
But before that, he said I'm what?
Black.
I'm black.
That's right.
I'm black and I'm comely. Now give me Deuteronomy 28, start at 15. Now I want to share with you, remember, I said I want to show you this before you leave. I'm going to show you this in the Bible. Sylvia, Larry, you heard that before? No? Great. I'm glad y'all have it. I'm glad you have it. Watch this.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15.
Bring it out.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So if somebody didn't listen to God, 1 and 1. 1 and 1. 1 and 1. So if somebody didn't listen to God, so now let's find out who the Bible is talking to. We got to start right there. If I want you to understand it, I'm going to have to start from the beginning. How you doing, sir?
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1 and verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
Sylvia, who is he talking to? Nope, not you. I said Sylvia. What's your name? Andre. I'm going to call on you, Mr. Andre. Give me a second. Sylvia, who is he talking to? I know. See, that's why I asked her, Mr. Tim, because she wasn't listening. But she say she want to learn, right? Did she say that, Mr. Tim? All right. Listen. Wait. No. Listen.
Deuteronomy, chapter 1 and verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
Who was these words spoken to in the book of Deuteronomy?
Israel.
Right? Will you agree, Mr. Tim?
I don't know.
Let's read it again.
He just say he spoke.
I know. Watch this. Okay, let's read it again.
These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
Unto all Israel, not in Israel. Unto. These be the Moses spake unto all the blacks.
That's right.
I'm just trying to paraphrase it for you. These be the Moses spake to all the Puerto Ricans. He was specific. He said to all Israel. Come on. 15.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15.
Bring it out.
But it shall come to pass.
So we're still in the book of Deuteronomy. We just jumped to chapter 28. He said it's going to come to pass.
If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and all his statutes, which I command thee this day.
So he's talking to the Israelites in Deuteronomy 1:1. These be the words that Moses spake to all of Israel. That's in Deuteronomy chapter 1 and verse 1. Verse 2, 3, 4, 5, chapter 2, 1, 3, 4, 5, chapter 3, all the way to chapter 28, he's still talking to Deuteronomy. I mean, in the book of Deuteronomy, he's still talking to the children of Israel.
Right.
Read.
That all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So if you don't listen to me, children of Israel, these curses gonna come on you and overtake you. If you seen me and I had a bunch of Mr. Tim, and I had a bunch of wasps on me, and you couldn't see my body no more, and all you seen was the wasps, did they overtake me? Yeah. They overtook me, Mr. Larry? What you say, Andre? What you say, Mr. Larry? Yeah. If all the wasps over me, like, oh, look at that man, he was standing by that wasp and they overtook him. Well, give me an example then. Give me an example. Help me out then, Mr. Tim.
Just cause you covered in walls don't mean they overtook.
Ah, so say me and you head to head, right? Yeah. We wrestling. Right, and the same thing. Overtook, the curses are gonna overtake you. It's just a word of speech, meaning they're gonna be on you and people are gonna know. That's why I was using the wasp gonna be on you. You with me now?
Verse in nakedness and in want of all things.
So anything we want, we got to go to, or anything the Israelites wanted, they had to go to their enemies for it, Mr. Tim. That's the Israelites now. Watch this.
And he
And their enemies
shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
So the enemy was going to put a yoke of iron on the Israelites' neck. I think that's kind of clear who the Israelites are.
Right. That's right.
He going to put a yoke of iron on the Israelites' neck. Look at this. What's that on his neck? Just so he can walk around so he won't run.
Right.
Right, Mr. Larry? God said he was going to do that to us. He's going to allow these things to happen because we was disobedient.
Right.
Or the Israelites was disobedient. He's going to allow this to happen to them. So them in the wilderness, it wasn't happening to. It happened to their descendants.
Right.
That's why I said all nations are still here on the earth. Come on.
Until he have destroyed thee.
That's why I said, once again, Judah don't know he Judah no more.
Right.
Ephraim don't know he Ephraim. The Zebulun don't know he Zebulun no
Right.
more. You see that? That's mean that the Israelites are destroyed.
Right.
Come on.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68.
Bring it out.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Give me Deuteronomy 5 and verse 6. He say he gonna bring the Israelites into Egypt again, but this time he gonna bring them into Egypt with ships. Let's see what God talking about. He gonna bring them into Egypt again with ships. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 5 and verse 6. I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
So he brought the children of Israel out of Egypt. But we read another scripture, he said, I'm gonna bring you back into Egypt with ships. Let's finish and see what Egypt he talking about. Read it from the top.
Deuteronomy chapter 5 verse 6. I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage.
What was Egypt called for them? I'm gonna bring you out of Egypt from what? Mr. Larry? Go ahead, Mr. Tim. No, we're gonna say what's in the Bible. I ain't gonna add to it. I don't want you to add to it. Listen again, Mr. Tim.
I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage.
He brought them out of the land of Egypt from the house of what? What is bondage? Give me an example, Mr. Tim.
Oh man, I don't know.
What about Mr. Larry? I like that. Ain't nobody really said that to me before. Held against your will. Held against your will. What you say, Andre? House of bondage. What is bondage? Bondage? Okay, I'm gonna explain it for you. I'm gonna let the Bible explain it for you. Let's go back. He said he brought you out of the house, out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage. Now, watch this from the top.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into...
Hold up. So now, we're talking about the children of Israel and how they had yokes of iron on their necks and how they was going to serve their enemies for all things. For water, food, clothes, birth certificate, you name it, insurance on their cars, pay their rent, their light bills. They was going to serve their enemies for it. Watch this from the top.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again
In the house of bondage. He's going to send the Israelites into bondage again.
with ships.
Who went into bondage on ships, Mr. Tim?
Wait a minute. Who?
Who went into bondage on ships?
I guess what? The slaves, huh?
Slaves. Slaves. He said, I'm going to bring you into bondage. That's another word. A lot of people usually say that, Mr. Larry, because he said, held against your will, slavery is held against your will. So he's going to bring you into slavery again with ships. Did that add up for you, Mr. Tim? What about you, Mr. Larry? Andre? I'm going to bring you into Egypt again with ships.
Right.
I'm going to bring you into slavery again with ships. I'm going to bring you into hold against your will again with ships.
Right.
Come on.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt not see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
That's why we have that down there. Because God said this was going to happen to the Israelites. This was going to happen to the Israelites. This was going to happen to the Israelites. So who the Israelites, Mr. Tim?
The people.
What people?
The slaves.
What slaves?
All of them.
What? Judah?
Black folks.
Black folks? What about these people? What? Don't this look like slavery? Don't this look like they're being bound?
Yeah.
That's what it's telling you. So it's not just black people. The Israelites.
Right.
The Israelites. Guess what they did, Mr. Tim?
What's that?
They conquered us at 2 different times.
Right.
They conquered us at 2 different times. Why? Because we stopped fellowshipping or hanging with each other. In the Bible, it was called a split. Judah, Benjamin, and Levi became one nation, and the rest of the tribes became one nation.
Right.
In the Bible, that's their history. In the Bible, that also their history is that it's gonna be bound. Right. That's what happened to. That's why we got this is not a fake image. This really happened.
Right.
They were bound by their enemies, and they were bound by their enemies. The whole 12 tribes went into slavery.
Right.
Because we didn't keep God's commandments. He wasn't just going to let it happen to half of them and not the other half. All of them went into slavery.
Right.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is